especially when filing the H-1B petition, and what makes a job description strong enough to meet the specialty occupation requirement?
Yeah, I think that you're going to be dealing with a lot of borderline psychotic officers this year, because a fallback that they have seeming to begin utilizing is the notion that the job duties are vague. Okay, well, if you hone in on what the actual definition of vague is, it's like, okay, we're not providing enough detail in what regard. If you're a if you're an officer, USCIS officer, and you maybe have a degree, a general business degree or whatever, unless you're an IT specialist, you're really going to sit there and tell me when you look at these 8 to 10 job duties for a software developer that you think that they're vague. What is even the analysis of that? I mean, a request for evidence, a second request for evidence, by the way, where they specifically that the job duties were not detailed enough. Well, the job duties were, I think 6 or 7 job duties, specific time percentages, sub duties to each job duty. And despite all of that, they claim that the job duties were vague based on the idea that one of the job duties contained the phrase collaborate with. And they basically said collaborating with other individuals is not a detailed enough description of what the individual is doing. So that's I'm letting you guys know now, that's what you're dealing with. So I think what you're going to have to do is really eliminate soft skills and get as technical as possible. If you're, coding XYZ, I would go into the technologies being used to code, how the coding process works, what part of the process you are you on the front, are you on the back, and just get really, really nitty gritty into the details of it. I would argue make the position so convoluted and complex that the officers just looking at it like, well, this looks like a lot of technical information, so it's probably more likely than not to be a specialty occupation. But that being said, I mean, you got to be careful this year because I don't think the generic stuff is going to cut it anymore. I don't think we're going to be able to get away with parroting ONET language and making small changes so that it says, something that's slightly different from what's contained in the ONET. I think USCIS isn't gonna let those fly anymore. I think you really do have to start looking at the detailed need, the need of extreme detail in the H-1B, while not necessarily being parallel to what an L-1 is, somewhat closer, at least in relation to the job duties.